news of the Huashu Kingdom's two major regions under attack by an unknown force spread rapidly through the high-ranking officials of all regions. The first to receive the intelligence was Li Changgong, Supreme Commander of the Northwest region and the region's #1 warrior. He immediately took the matter seriously. He swiftly opened the entire map of the Huashu Kingdom, and began examining the targeted regions and timelines of the attacks. The first target was the Columbus Ocean Fleet stationed at Neon Harbor. The second was East Sea City in the East Sea region. The third target was Fengtian City in the Northeast region. Judging by the timing and locations, the attackers likely came from the sea. This points almost certainly to the underground civilization of Star Island's Mist Valley. Who would have thought those creatures would emerge and actively attack humanity? Could it be that humans have been constantly active nearby, repeatedly venturing in to explore, provoking their wrath? Li Changgong quickly figured out the relationship between the two events. Humans discovered the existence of the underground civilization. Initially filled with fear and panic, they later succumbed to greed. They viewed the underground civilization as a vast treasure trove, relentlessly exploring and invading it, craving more underground resources, the source of God and spirit of sacrifice that could enhance the mutants' abilities. But they all forgot one crucial thing. Humans could launch attacks against mysterious civilizations, even annihilating nations like the Nash Kingdom in the Southwest region. Yet, those mysterious civilizations, possessing far greater power, could strike back. Indeed, they could annihilate human nations. Li Changgong sat in his wide chair, his gaze intense as he sank into deep thought. I wonder how large this battlefield will grow. But judging by the current situation, the next region to face attack should be the Jiangnan region, followed by the Xinjiang region. The Northwest region, being the farthest from the ocean, should be the safest. Even if attacked, it would be the last. Still, I must prepare for the worst-case scenario. With this thought, he immediately summoned all high-ranking military officials. Activate Red Alert. The entire Northwest region must prepare for combat. Chang'an, deploy all of the Wolfang troops. Prepare to engage the enemy. After Li Changgong issued his orders, alarms blared throughout the Northwest region, especially in Chang'an City. In the barracks, soldiers swiftly donned their combat gear, arming themselves to the teeth with the most advanced weapons. Then the army mobilized, forming one battle formation after another, appearing like ants in every corner of Chang'an. The thunderous clatter of marching boots echoed like rolling thunder. Li Changgong donning his combat gear, slinging his twin long swords at his waist. He stepped to the front of the command center, where a massive floor-to-ceiling window offered a panoramic view of Chang'an City. The air thickened with a palpable, grim tension. Seating himself before the window, his gaze sharpened, ready to confront any enemy that dared approach. Li Changgong's theoretical analysis was flawless. What he hadn't anticipated was that the enemy bypassed the Xinjiang region and Southwest region, heading straight for the Northwest region. The Mist Valley forces even circumvented all the Northwest region's satellite cities, marching directly toward Chang'an City. This time, however, there was no grand gesture of a massive army charging the city walls. The entire city of Chang'an City stood ready for battle, its defenses nearly impenetrable. Li Changgong monitored every movement around Chang'an City via satellite. Any appearance of mutant forces would be detected instantly. Thus, the enemy had no chance for a surprise attack. Armor and steel clanged, the biting cold of the north hung heavy, a great battle could erupt at any moment. Every Wolfang guard waited nervously for the enemy's arrival. But the enemy did not appear. Not a single soul appeared. Amidst the swirling blizzard, a wisp of blue smoke drifted slowly through the snow, gradually materializing within Chang'an City. It was a humanoid creature clad in silver armor. Standing in a desolate, uninhabited spot, it lifted its head to survey the surroundings. The vast human city before it stirred a look of reminiscence in its eyes. Then, raising his right hand to his lips, he gently exhaled a wisp of black smoke. Whoosh, the black smoke spread through the air, slowly at first, but soon rapidly expanding in all directions. Rolling, thick smoke crept along the walls, entered the underground through the sewers, and surged toward the entire Chan'an city. Night. Wind and snow. Silent and stealthy, the smoke drifted from this district toward the entire Chan'an city, seemingly slow yet moving with surprising speed. Everyone stood on high alert, awaiting the arrival of a powerful force of mutants poised to launch a brutal assault on Chan'an city. Yet no one anticipated that instead of the expected army, pitch-black smoke began surging from every corner of Chan'an city. In the night, such a thing was truly difficult to detect. And when the Wolf Fang guards finally spotted it, the black smoke had already spread so extensively that it was impossible to ignore. What? What is that? Smoke? Is there a fire somewhere? The mighty Tiger Guard witnessed this scene and dared not take it lightly. In the age of great change, all manner of mutants emerged without cease. On a night like this, any unusual phenomenon would capture people's attention. A mutant, clad in full armor, advanced slowly. He cupped his right hand like a trumpet to his mouth, then suddenly expelled a powerful whirlwind directly at the vast expanse of black smoke before him. The smoke was instantly scattered by the impact. But before the mutant could breathe a sigh of relief, the dispersed smoke quickly churned and boiled in the fierce wind, spreading even more violently. In an instant, it surged toward the entire unit. Seeing this, the wind attribute mutant immediately activated his ability again. But only then did he realize that from all directions, from beneath the ground, from behind the buildings, thick black smoke was rapidly rising, coalescing into a towering wall of darkness hundreds of meters high. This colossal black wall was now bearing down on them. Raging tempest. The mutant instinctively took 2 steps back, then swiftly activated his ability, attempting to disperse the black fog before him. Yet his storm could only carve a narrow passage through the darkness, which was instantly filled again by the surrounding black smoke. In the blink of an eye, the black fog engulfed them. The feet of numerous Wolf Fang Guard warriors were already submerged in the black mist. Wherever the black smoke passed, all the mutants were killed, transformed into gray, withered sculptures, like dead tree stumps. Yet, after they withered away, a series of pop sounds emanated from their corpses. Their skin shattered, and suddenly, one after another, brilliant red flowers burst forth from their withered bodies, blooming abruptly in the heart of the night with a hauntingly beautiful radiance. After the red flowers bloomed, even more black smoke gushed forth. From the moment the black mist was first noticed to its rapid proliferation, engulfing the entire Chan'an city, took less than 5 minutes. Alarms blared throughout Chan'an city, and a barrage of urgent intelligence poured into Li Changgong's ears. Commander, enemy attack. They're here. They're using some kind of bizarre smoke attack. It's everywhere in Chan'an city. By the time Li Changgong heard these words, he could already see the black mist enveloping the entire city. Even in the darkest midnight, this black mist remained starkly visible, for it was darker than the night itself. Li Changgong showed no sign of panic. He rose slowly from his seat, hands resting firmly on the 2 long swords at his waist. All forces, heed my command. Advance. Slay every invader. Beneath Li Changgong, the 5 top-tier 5 extreme gods of war stood ready. Yes, Commander. After Sky War God Qing Lamlin's death, the second generation was swiftly replaced. No one was indispensable, newcomers would always rise. With the district's resources, cultivating a powerful mutant was no difficult feat, though the enemy's assault method was highly unusual. Battles between mutants were inherently an arena where every bizarre ability imaginable had been witnessed. Li Changgong did not rush to engage. As commander, he needed to oversee the entire situation. Moreover, his immediate priority was locating the mutant responsible for releasing the smoke. Judging by the range and lethality of their ability, they must be an Epsilon-level mutants. Hiding within the smoke to target our ordinary soldiers first, quite a clever tactic indeed. But if they truly believe Chan'an City can be breached so easily, they've sorely underestimated my capabilities. A calm, composed smile touched Li Changgong's lips. Running his fingers along his sword hilt, he knew this battle was one he'd long anticipated. Since ascending to power, he had yet to secure a major victory to solidify his position. His earlier clash with Zhang Yi had even tarnished his authority. Therefore, he resolved to use this battle against the invading enemy to win the complete allegiance of the entire northwest region. Baijan, it's time for you to demonstrate your strength. Li Changgong issued the command to the second-generation Sky War god, Baijan. In the central district of Chang'an City, Baijan, standing atop a 100-meter tower, received the order and nodded with a smile. Yes, Commander. Yet the smile on his face seemed icy, almost inhuman. Baijan surveyed his surroundings. Thick black smoke billowed from all directions around Chang'an City, drifting with the wind to heights of over 100 meters. Like towering walls, it advanced relentlessly toward the central district. At this rate, within 10 minutes at most, the most crucial capital city of the northwest region would be completely engulfed by the dark haze. Baijan lowered his head and suddenly began to run. He raced down the facade of the building, its walls made of tempered glass, hurtling downward at breakneck speed. His pace was swift, growing ever faster. The scenery around him blurred, yet he continued to accelerate. His extreme velocity stirred a mighty gale. Landing on the ground, he charged forward into the urban district without slowing. There, the city was already completely engulfed in the black fog. Baijan's gaze was icy as he stared ahead, his body stretched almost into a straight line as he continued his breakneck dash. So fast that the world in his eyes dissolved into streaks. Whoosh, intense friction ignited raging flames in the areas he streaked past. The ground beneath him shattered violently, roadside vehicles exploded, and even nearby high-rises burst into flames. Baijan accelerated relentlessly, plunging directly into the fog-shrouded district. Boom! Like a train crashing into water, even the smoke itself erupted in a deafening roar as it collided with the high-pressure storm. In an instant, the black fog on the city streets was swept away, and the asphalt pavement was utterly destroyed. Baijan sped through the streets and buildings of Chang'an City. From afar, a fiery streak darted unrestrainedly through the black mist. Massive clouds of black smoke were directly dispersed. No matter how swiftly they spread, they couldn't withstand such an impact. The scene unfolding in Chang'an City caused the silver armor observing from afar to lift its head slightly. Seeing the sky-piercing flames, he showed not the slightest hint of concern. For the smoke enveloping the entire city had already allowed them to eliminate a third of Chang'an City's defenders, achieving their invasion without a single clash. From the smoke behind him emerged the black and white commander and over 100 green armor warriors. The silver armor figure addressed the black and white commander behind him, "Where is the enemy command center?" The black and white commander stepped forward. Raising his right arm, he tapped it several times. A complete three-dimensional map of Chang'an City projected from the forearm. He pointed to the tower housing the command center. "Right here," Silver Armor declared, "Then their commander is here too? You handle the other human warriors. I'll take out their commander. Tonight's mission must be swift and decisive." No sooner had the words left his mouth than his entire body dissolved into a dark mist. He merged directly into the vast night, drifting toward the command center where Li Changgong was stationed. The black and white commander gave a decisive wave to the green armor warriors behind him. Today's objective is to kill every ability user in this city. Sever their future. Silver Armor made his way to the high-rise housing the command center. This was Chang'an City's tallest building. Li Changgong's command center occupied its highest floor. Only from this vantage point could he survey the entire city and monitor every movement. Only here could he savor the sensation of holding everything in the palm of his hand. Silver Armor arrived silently, slowly infiltrating the building through the ventilation shafts. Yet the moment he entered the building, alarms blared throughout the entire structure. Boom! 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 The entire structure instantly sealed itself off. Heavy alloy doors descended, encasing the building like an impregnable fortress. Li Changgong turned, a fanatical gleam of battle intent flashing across his lips. "They're here!" The image of Silver Armor appeared on the visor of his combat helmet. Silver Armor was unaware that every corner, every movement within the entire building was now under his complete surveillance. Daring to come here to decapitate me? You truly don't know when to quit. Having risen through the ranks, Li Changgong's caution far surpassed that of the average regional commander. He had long prepared for an attack on headquarters, so Silver Armor's intrusion came as no surprise. He had even planned to trap him like a turtle in a jar. The moment Silver Armor entered the building, he was immediately sealed off by a thick metal door. Now, he was surrounded by a cube-shaped metal box, with not a single crack or opening visible. Seeing this, the Silver Armor figure merely raised his right hand, palm open. A spiral of black smoke erupted from his fingertips. "SH." A barely perceptible hiss echoed as the alloy wall over a meter thick ahead was cleanly sliced open. The heavy metal slab slid aside, revealing a clear path. Silver Armor stepped forward, advancing slowly. Whoosh, nozzles suddenly appeared in the wall ahead, instantly engulfing the entire room in super high temperatures exceeding thousands of degrees. The searing flames took on a terrifying white hue, a heat capable of instantly melting metal. This was why the room's materials were aerospace ceramics. The Silver Armor figure showed no hesitation. A sphere of black smoke formed around him, creating a protective shield that completely isolated the flames and intense heat. He continued forward, smashing through doors after doors. In each subsequent room, he encountered a new type of trap. Liquid nitrogen, firearms, toxic gas, hypnotic fumes, water flooding. Yet no trap could slow his advance for even an instant. Before Li Changgong, doors opened one after another. He and the Silver Armor figure approached rapidly from two separate directions. Soon, only the final metal door stood between them. Silver Armor raised his hand, black smoke coalescing in his palm, poised to pierce the metal door ahead. Li Changgong slowly lifted his head, a bloodthirsty smile curling his lips. He abruptly drew his sword, slashing first at the metal doors before him. Two long swords crossed midair, a cross-slash cutting through the void. "I am heaven's will. My thoughts cut everything." The metal door remained unmoved, yet Silver Armor, standing behind it, was suddenly cleaved apart. Crack! A massive X split open his chest armor, shattering his body into 4 pieces. For the first time, a look of utter shock flashed across the Silver Armor's face. He never imagined his personal battle armor could be so fragile. Clatter! Shards of armor rained down, yet the Silver Armor's form dissolved into a wisp of smoke before coalescing anew. Boom! The metal door before him swung open, revealing Li Changgong wielding twin swords. No, perhaps the Silver Armor being deserved a new name now. For Li Changgong's dual strikes had shattered his armor, exposing his true form. It was a crimson humanoid creature, towering 3 meters tall, easily looking down upon Li Changgong. Unlike humans, its crimson skin was covered in fine scales, and a thick, long tail extended from its back. The most striking feature, however, was the horn-like protrusions sprouting from its skull. So it's not human after all. Is this a creature from the underworld? Li Changgong furrowed his brow slightly. Why does it look so different from the one I encountered before? Beneath the Qinling mountain, the white dragon he had seen was clearly a serpent, capable of assuming human form. Looks like we're dealing with 2 different tribes. Li Changgong laughed. Whatever you are, once you step foot here, you're not leaving alive. He instantly appeared before the Silver Armor creature, his twin swords slicing out like lightning. Silver Armor's form was once again slashed in half, yet he swiftly reconstituted as smoke elsewhere. Such formidable offensive power. Seems unstoppable. The Silver Armor's gaze held a hint of curiosity. It's just a pity this ability has no effect on me. Li Changgong now recognized the opponent's power, the ability to transform his body into smoke. This was precisely the type of supernatural ability his own powers struggled to counter. Frowning, he inwardly recognized that the opponent had come prepared to confront the Northwest region. Silver Armor raised his right hand. A swirl of black smoke gathered in his palm, swiftly coalescing into a blade that stabbed toward Li Changgong. Li Changgong met it with a slash, cleaving the smoke blade apart. Unfazed, the silver armor gathered more black mist in his right hand. Suddenly, the smoke erupted, transforming mid-air into chaotic, whirling strands that fluttered like butterflies beating their wings at breakneck speed. Go! With a wave of his hand, hundreds of attacks swept toward Li Changgong from every direction. A cold smile curled Li Changgong's lips. Both swords flashed out. No matter how formidable those smoke attacks were, under the power of I Am Heaven's will, nothing was beyond being slashed. Not even attacks. The silver armor stared intently at Li Changgong. After a moment's thought, he opened his mouth and spat a large cloud of black smoke toward Li Changgong. Will your slashes still work against this kind of attack? How could a sword slash through light smoke? Clearly, Li Changgong didn't know either. His expression grew more solemn, and then he instantly teleported outside the building using 6 realms without distance. As expected, a difficult opponent. Li Changgong's lips curved into a smile, but don't forget, this is my turf. Haven't you noticed there's no one else in this building besides me? The intelligence system responded to him. In an instant, a terrifying force erupted from beneath the command center building, shooting skyward. A blinding pillar of light, like a jade column piercing the heavens, shot straight into the clouds, completely obliterating the command center. As a military strategist, Li Changgong understood the critical importance of armed forces. While the Northwest region might lag behind East Sea region, Xinjiang, and Jiangnan in scientific prowess, achieving sheer explosive power wasn't particularly difficult. Directly beneath the command center lay stockpiles of explosives modified from Yuan stone, boasting a destructive capacity comparable to the Reaper of Love. The silver armor figure charged straight toward Li Changgong, only to be struck directly by the high-yield explosive Li Changgong had placed beneath the command center building. Even an entity in smoke form could evade the slashes of a long sword. But against such indiscriminate, wide-area attacks, even smoke itself could not avoid being hit. The sky-piercing flames illuminated the entire Chang'an city. Even hundreds of kilometers away, one could witness the inferno reaching toward the heavens and the mushroom cloud forming from the smoke and fire swirling upward. The black and white commander led a group of green armor warriors toward the battlefield of slaughter. Their mission, prioritize eliminating all resistance forces here, rendering the Northwest region a completely unorganized zone. They knew the enemy's strongest commander, Supreme Commander Li Changgong, would be absolutely pinned down by the silver armor troops. No, to be precise, eliminated. They had absolute confidence in their own commanders. As for the remaining ordinary humans, they were no match whatsoever. Black and White Commander led a group of green armor warriors, swiftly breaking through Baijan's flames and charging toward the core area's wolf fawn guard. Little did they know, when Li Changgong sounded the war horn, the entire Chang'an city was already on high alert, awaiting their arrival. As the smoke cleared, they appeared before the wolf fawn guard. From atop a towering structure, Xiao Liu, the mortal war god, stood in the blizzard, his piercing gaze sweeping over the land below. Through the citywide satellite network, the precise location of every enemy soldier could now be pinpointed. Yet, he could equally clearly witness the terrifying might of those Mist Valley warriors. Nearly every single green-armored Mist Valley soldier possessed strength comparable to a captain-level mutant. And the enemy fielded over 100 such level-based green armor warriors. Had this encounter occurred in open terrain rather than Chang'an City's strategic advantage, he couldn't even begin to imagine how to counter such a terrifying force. But thankfully, this was Chang'an City. Xiao Liu drew a deep breath and declared coldly, "Begin. Exterminate every last one of these invaders." Beside him, North Pole War God, Chen Jiahao. Ability Code, Firepower Supremacy. To attain ultimate power, one must focus on a single ability while sacrificing others. Chen Jiahao's ability exemplified this principle. His close combat skills were weak, and his ranged attacks suffered from long cooldowns between each use. In one-on-one combat, he he could even be instantly killed by a mutant with a mere 5,000 ability index points. However, within the confines of a battle formation, provided he received flawless protection, he could unleash power of extraordinary levels. A terrifying energy rapidly coalesced within his body. His form began to glow crimson, radiating scorching heat waves. Pop! This power formed a blood-red projectile within his mouth, then surged along his elongated neck, erupting violently from his jaws. Transforming into a narrow beam of light, it shot toward the advancing Mist Valley forces. The black and white commander instantly sensed this overwhelming power. Even he was forced to halt abruptly, spreading his hands before him. Two terrifying vortexes coalesced in his palms, then coalesced into a shield wall over 1,000 meters tall. Wind shield. The firepower-focused artillery struck the Epsilon-level defensive shield directly, its explosions lingering for a few seconds before finally fading. The crimson light dissipated between heaven and earth, leaving Chen Jiahao in a weakened state. His gaze heavy, he declared, "The enemy has Epsilon-level mutants. My next recharge requires 10 seconds. From here on, it's up to you." Beside him, the Earth War God Chiyukuan, the Mortal War God Xiao Liu, and the South Pole War God Di Fei all wore solemn expressions. 2 Epsilon-level mutants attacking, plus over 100 Captain-level forces. This battle will be the greatest crisis Chang'an City has ever faced. Xiao Liu turned back, flashing them a confident smile. "But we will protect everything. We absolutely will." He was rallying his teammates this way. Because now, they had no retreat. Chang'an City was their base. In the distance, the black and white commander had blocked Chen Jiahao's firepower supremacy, but the immense force had also recoiled him, forcing him back 2 or 3 steps. He shook his palm, glancing up with apparent surprise toward the direction of the 4. To unleash an attack capable of shaking an Epsilon-level mutant with mere Delta-level strength was indeed a formidable ability. Interesting. A cold smile curled the black and white commander's lips as he gestured to the green armor warriors behind him to spread out. Since the enemy's ability was like a cannon, spreading out and encircling the target direction was undoubtedly the optimal choice. The black and white commander himself crouched slightly, then lunged forward with tremendous force. Whoosh! As he moved, a violent gale instantly swept across the street. All surrounding buildings were buffeted by the storm, plaster flaking from walls, glass shattering instantly, and even some structures toppling over. He intended to charge head-on, to see just how much these puny humans were worth. With the enemy launching their assault, the Wolf Fang Guard stood equally ready for battle. Xiao Liu flexed his wrist, his gaze intensely grave. "Everyone here, protect the North Pole War God. Wait until his energy charge completes. As for their commander, leave him to me." As he spoke, he reached for a black sniper rifle beside him. The moment it touched his hands, it seemed to come alive, its entire structure undergoing a startling transformation. Scorching airwaves surged from the rifle's body, which began pulsing rhythmically, as if a heart beat within it. Xiao Liu raised the sniper rifle, aimed it at the black and white commander charging rapidly from the distance, and pulled the trigger without hesitation. A pitch-black origin bullet sliced through the night sky, leaving a vacuum trail in its wake as it instantly closed the distance to the black and white commander. The commander, eyes fixed ahead, flicked his wrist, sending a whirlwind that knocked the bullet aside. Yet his forward momentum was momentarily disrupted. A flicker of surprise crossed his eyes. Is there another human-designated Epsilon-level ability user within this city? In this perilous world, everyone fights desperately to survive. Each person is the protagonist of their own life. Perhaps they don't shine as brightly as Zhang Yi, constantly under everyone's gaze, growing and dazzling in an extraordinary way. But they too strive relentlessly, seeking to make their own light shine. And the effort they pour into it is no less than Zhang Yi's. At this moment, a proper reintroduction is in order. Sky War God Xiao Liu, ability, Metal Frenzy, now an Epsilon-level mutant. He has also earned his own new title, Chiyu, Lord of Arms.